thank you very much for coming. What does social value mean to you?
Well, I guess for me, what it means is that broader and deeper impact that can be achieved in terms of addressing deep-seated issues within communities, often that communities have identified themselves and that are the kind of big preoccupations really that those communities have. And kind of buying kind of services, you know, at kind of best price doesn't always kind of address or begin to alleviate some of those issues. So it's actually about looking about what we do as commissioners to maximise the benefit, but in a broad sense and in terms of like social impact. So the kind of simple stuff would be, you know, around ensuring that what we do creates local employment, for example, that is kind of sustainable, doesn't impact the environment. But I guess the deeper stuff is about how we can develop real community cohesion, develop capital within communities, encourage volunteering, and also look at things like community ownership of services and get the community much more involved in determining what services are provided, and maybe be involved in the providing of some of those services. So I think there's some kind of wider aims really around social value, which are things which will actually make communities much stronger in the future.
Okay, great, thank you. And so, what is Essex County Council doing in this regard?
Well, I think one of the things that we are wanting to do is actually commission against outcomes much more demonstrably. And to that end, we're actually working as a council to kind of transform as a council towards an outcomes-based approach to commissioning. And that when we talk about outcomes, we're actually talking about outcomes which are the result of a kind of process of consultation and engagement with communities and other stakeholders. So the idea really will be that we look much more at outcomes rather than inputs, and that we're community engaged to actually ensure that we're doing the right things and addressing the right outcomes, the things that communities will value the most, and getting the best value really, both in terms of social value as well as kind of price. But when we look at a kind of financial analysis, we're looking at that kind of wider impact in terms of efficiency and cost. So in the long term, some things that initially may cost more, but in the longer term actually bring a much better return really in terms of community cohesion, social value, and savings. I think the key lesson, I think, is that we are in kind of difficult and challenging times, and it would be wrong to try to address those difficult and challenging times with the same approaches as we've had previously. So the challenge, I think, for us is to think about new ways of working, new types of kind of partnerships that we might need to develop to actually get the most out of the scarce resources that we have, but both in terms of kind of impact as well as efficiency. So the biggest return in terms of social return and for related to the kind of money that we have to actually spend. So I think that's the big challenge, and it's really a challenge to commissioners to actually think about how we actually change the way we do things to enable us to do both of those things.